Howdy, PreCal. It's Miss Kosh. I just had a question on, I think this was number 7 on the worksheet. And somebody asked me in class, and I thought it would be worth making a video for everybody. So the problem, I always start by drawing some random triangle not to scale. And then what I realized, well, what they told me is that angle C was 128, that side B was 35, and side C was 35. So we set this up. Sine of 128 over 35 is equal to sine of B over 35. Noticing right here that we end up, well, these things would cancel, right? So sine of B is going to equal sine of 128. So, but I didn't even notice that, to be honest with you, when I started working this problem. So I grabbed my calculator, and hang on, I've done other things since, hang on. So I grabbed my calculator and I said, okay, what is sine 35 sine of 128 over 35? What I thought, we knew that the answer was no triangle. So we thought, oh, well, what's going to happen is this ratio is too big. It's bigger than 1. Well, it wasn't too big. It was just fine. And when I went to find the inverse sine of that answer, I got 52. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, it does make a triangle. I just got an answer. What's happening here? Well, what happens is, notice that number plus the 128 that's already there is exactly 180. So what we did here, what I should have known, or what I can explain a little more quickly now, is that these 35s would cancel each other out, and so basically I need something that has the same sine value as 128. So another way to think about it is, if you're on the unit circle, sine of 52 and sine of 128 have the same value because they're the same y value on the unit circle. So the answer that we found was the supplement to the angle that was already there, and then what happens is we can't make a triangle because we already have 2 angles adding up to 180. That doesn't leave us room for a third angle. The other thing that I tried, I said, okay, well, let's see what happens if I try and draw this a little better to scale. So I made an obtuse angle. I'm going to pretend it's 128. And then I said, okay, well, however long this side is, I grabbed a compass, and I said, well, because notice, this is my obtuse angle, and then I had the next 2 sides needed to be the same amount. So I thought, okay, well, if this were 35 right here, so what we're saying is that this angle is 128. Here's the 35. Well, the other 35 is going to have to hit somewhere on this circle. Well, notice the only place that it ever hits the original line we started with, even if I extended this out as long as I wanted to, the only time it's ever going to hit is at this point C. Meaning that I'm trying to make a triangle that goes, it starts somewhere. I started here initially. It comes to C, and then it goes out, and then when it gets to that point, the only way that it can get back to this other line is to turn around and do exactly what it did, which doesn't make a triangle. Okay, so this one doesn't fit. I guess it was kind of good that I accidentally assigned this problem. It doesn't fit the rules that I had taught you about how we know if it's 0 triangles or 2 triangles, but still, it did not make a triangle. Hope that helps. Go practice. Good luck.